So Future and Lil Tecca both released a project on Friday called Mixtape Pluto and Plan A. I haven't listened to Plan A by Lil Tecca, but by the time you'll probably see this video, I probably just got done listening to it or listening to it right now. I will be talking about Plan A tomorrow, so if you want to let me know if y'all excited for it and if y'all are wanting to see it, stay tuned if you're interested. But in this video, I'm going to be going over Futures first, which is again called Pluto Mixtape. Future has already done two albums this year that both have been well received and pretty good. So seeing a mixtape like this is really genuine a surprise and is honestly a great rollout considering Future's career for the past couple of years and this year in general. And I'm going to be talking about it in this video. So make sure to like, subscribe, follow all socials, and without further ado, let's get it. So already right off the bat, I've already enjoyed a lot of Futures projects this year with We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You. Two projects this year that have really been well received in my opinion. And as for this project, Mixtape Pluto for a mixtape, I think this one was a pretty good one as well. I didn't love it, but I do think this one was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Has a lot of good tracks with two on my rotation so far, and some moments on this that I find funny and kind of noticeable, like Pluto Ski. But as for Raw, I think Pluto Mixtape was a pretty good sort of little album, or not album, mixtape. I apologize. But getting into the track, we have track number 4, starting with Teflon Don. This one's a pretty good track. I like this one. Future, in my opinion, was really good on this, having some, you know what I'm saying, woman vocals in the background. That kind of reminds me of Superhero for Future and Metro Boomin, along with him rapping generically, like in the beginning, and then slowly picking up the pace on the track. I find this track really cool. The next one we got is Lil Demon, a really hard beat, pause, with some ad-libs behind him after his verses. And one thing I will give him props when it comes to this mixtape is the production on this, or the beat wise. Some of the beats are pretty cool on this. You know what I'm saying? Southside's beat has been good with Future on the past, with some examples being Holding That Heat. With this one's no different. There's some beats that I've noticed that I liked, even though most of Future's, like, you know what I'm saying, beats on this mixtape has generically been just like, feel like the same generic trap beats. But I feel like that's what you usually get when it comes to Future. Future usually tends for those type of beats. But anyways, as we move on to the next one on this mixtape, we got track number 3, Ski. And this one, you know what I'm saying, this one has like a little bit of a like fast flow, kind of remind me of some like Migo flows. And of course with some bars such as got them demons on me, got the devil in me, like a rocket I'm launching. And to be honest, with this track specifically, when it reached around like 112, I low-key thought the beat was gonna change, but I guess not. I was kind of hoping for it, but I guess not. I guess my expectations were kind of expecting on that, but kind of thing to bring up. But track number 4, we got Ready to Cook Up. This track has some, you know what I'm saying, nice beats with some sound of like bells or chimes or something like that in the background. I was trying to make it out what it is, but I want to say it is that, but I guess that's what it is. But next up, we have track number 5, Pluto Ski. This track is something else. Has a really slowed down, you know what I'm saying, eerie beat, making me feel like I'm like all drugged out. With Future sometimes mumbling and moaning into the mic that I find it funny, but also kind of confusing. Kind of makes me wonder why he did that part on the track and what made him want to. But as for the track itself, I find it to be, like I said, slow or eerie, but I find it just to be sort of like a funny little track. If anything, it's a vibe itself if you want to take it like that. If you want to just disregard the sort of mumbling, moaning, it's sort of like a sort of slow, chill, not even slow, chill, but like a slow, eerie, just vibey little track. Speaking of vibes, the next one we got is my favorite off this mixtape, Too Fast. This one I kind of like simply due to the fact that the beat and the song kind of reminds me of like a drive-by track with Future talking about, you know, saying his girl. He was in his feelings regarding this track, and I like this track. It's probably one of my favorites off this mixtape, along with the first one and Lost My Dog. But up next we got is Ocean. The beat on this feels like a sort of tropical island trap mix, you know what I'm saying, with some eagles in the background, and has some mixtures of like an island joint with some typical future beats, along with some bars such as "Don't look at me at the wrong time, got a 30 on me like Curry past 9." Can't forget about the man that was there all. Can't forget about man he was there before all this. Uncle Snoopy got killed. He the reason I'm an artist. And also the chorus. So many tears I could fill up an ocean. Before the fame came, I was already in motion. Some bars like that I have to mention just due to the fact that I want to talk about it and whatnot. And also ones I really noticed and I just want to just bring up because I like. Next one we got is Press the Button. Nothing too much out of this, you know what I'm saying, other than this bar talking about Big 40 Magger, Big Toad Tagger, Pluto Mike Jagger, which, okay. MJ is next, has having slow, drugged out track, sort of similar to Pluto Ski, with some ad lib echoes that I find sort of enjoyable. Next is track 10, Razor, with some soft side on the beat. This one has like sort of a mixture of both like Pluto rapping and singing on this track. It's not a sort of big thing to talk about as there's been several times where Pluto is like that, but you know what I'm saying, something to bring up here and there as Pluto likes to do that here and there, likes to rap and also sing. Next we have is South of France, another track that has a beat that I like. Sometimes gets louder once in a while, with some future mentioning some like tsunamis and waves. Kind of reminds me of Ocean a little bit. Next is Made My Whole Faint. Again, some vocals in the back. Sounds like humming. When I hear about this still to this day. With some funny future bars, or not even funny future bars, but just bars in general, such as anything I get on, put a fit on, then I shit on. And also kind of weird bars also before it, such as flicking up my wrist, I'm cooking dope, smell like that peed on. Kind of weird, but okay. Next is Told My. Nothing much out of this track, you know what I'm saying, other than some dark vocals in the background. That's kind of the only one thing that kind of stand out with that. Next one we have is also Oath. Kind of about the same, to be honest, with some funny bars like "Run you down in a rush hour like Jackie Chan chopsticks." A moment I find noticing on this track, but other than that, similar to Tomai, it's alright. And then we got "Lost My Dog." This one is really different, as you got Future on this, really talking about someone losing someone, and the pain that he has is really real on this track. And this track is a really hard track. I can imagine Future probably recording this and having a hard time recording this, or at least like having a hard time talking about it, considering this one was deep. From the female vocals in the background, the deep and sad productions, the bars even looking at the text, he was battling depression. I should have seen the signs as soon as I received the message, as well as the last verse on the post chorus. A relatable song in a way, as you get a lot of people dealing with that shit. And as someone, I'm not saying I didn't battle with like depression, but obviously I've had people like talk about like, oh, they had depression, and it's hard to kind of help them. And the only thing you can do is kind of hope and pray that you get through it and seek the help as much necessary. And it's a hard thing to deal with. If anything, anyone is really dealing with that sort of situation about depression, hope that you are getting through it, and just know that you are not the only one who is dealing with it. There's hundreds of people that are dealing with that sort of moment like that, and just know you got people out there willing to talk through that in a scenario like that. You are not alone. But last song on the mixtape is A Sang Gang, and has like this sort of thug trap like beat that feels like you're like tough in a way and shit like that. And as for the album, or not for the album, so I keep saying album, but as for the mixtape itself, this mixtape, honestly, like I mentioned, I find it to be pretty good. It has a lot to seek through, a lot of good bars, a lot of good production, despite most of them honestly sounding a little bit the same. And overall, it does have some tracks worth listening to, like "Lost My Dog," "Pluto Ski," etc. If you're looking for tracks such as those. My only complaint about this mixtape, though, is that there's no features on this, which I really find disappointing. Even though You got Southside a lot on the production. And though that is cool, I was expecting like some Travis Scott on this, or even Metro Boomin, as you got him on like 2 projects. I'm surprised he hasn't had like a project on this that honestly is like, you know what I'm saying? I thought it would be like on 1 or 2 tracks, or hell, even on like tracks with Southside, you could have like a 2-for-1 production with Southside and Future. But besides that, I like this mixtape. Like some of the tracks. Some are skippable, some are good, but overall, really good mixtape from Future. But anyways, I'm gonna end here. Thank you all for watching. If y'all like this, you feel me, like, subscribe, follow all socials, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.